We are starting with chapter 16 today. That is all about water. You know that we cannot live without water. Water is needed for everything, whether it is bathing, drinking, cooking, washing ourselves. So water is our lifeline, and water is most important, and yet we disrespect it. We pollute water, and there will be a time when we will have problem. So now let us see what we have to learn in the lesson water. Can you recall what happens when a spoonful of sugar, sawdust and soil are added to a glass of water? Okay, so you take a glass of water, 3 glasses of water actually. In one you stir in sugar. You will see that it will dissolve fully. Usme totally घुल जाता है वो. Second, you take soil, that means mitti. That will also mix, but then you will see that the full water has become muddy. And the third one, you take sawdust, bhusa. Okay, so it will not mix that properly. That means all the shavings of the wood or sawdust, that will not mix as well. Now, which are the 3 states of water? Now, the 3 states of water, you know, are in the solid state, water will be called ice. Then, when you allow it to remain at room temperature, it will be in the liquid state. That means it will turn into water. And when it turns into the gaseous state, that will be called vapor. So, actually all 3 are same. If you make it cold, again water can convert into ice. And if you heat it further and then उसकी भाप बनती है, that is known as vapor. और ठंडा करो तो वो बर्फ बनता है. But all 3 are forms of water in the solid, liquid and gaseous state. Okay, so these are the 3 states of water. What is done to make drinking water safe and clean? What do you do in your house? You filter it and you purify it. Sometimes some people don't have a filter, so they put it through a cloth, a very fine cloth, and then they clean the water that way. Sometimes we put alum. Alum is put in the water so that all the dirt can settle down, and then you gently take the water from top, which is clean. That means that alum, that doesn't taste very nice, but all the dirt or the impurities will be separated, and then you only take the clear water from top. Sometimes we feel that no, there are many germs in rainy season, so we boil the water. तो अलग अलग तरीके होते हैं. जैसे आप पानी साफ करने के लिए फिल्टर यूज़ कर सकते हैं, उबाल सकते हैं, उसको छान सकते हैं. So in different ways we clean our water and then we drink clean water. Now, pollution of water. You might have seen that many of the places the water is not clean. It is polluted. They have said to try this. While it is raining, collect some of the rainwater directly. Okay, so you keep one vessel or one container outside in the open. एक बर्तन रखिए, उसमें बारिश का पानी collect हो जाएगा. Also collect some of the rainwater that is flowing over the ground. अभी जो ज़मीन पे बह रहा है, उसका भी थोड़ा collect कर लीजिए. Observe and compare the two. If it has come directly from up, it will be clean water. Which you have taken from down, that will be dirty water, muddy water. What difference do you see, and what is the reason for that? When other substances get mixed with water, that means when other things get mixed with water, it becomes impure. It is not pure, it is not clean. Some of these substances float in the water. Float means they don't mix. You will find that they are floating up on top. Okay, they don't go in the water. So the water looks unclean and muddy. Some substances dissolve in the water and we cannot see them. So that means इतना घुल मिल जाएंगे उसके साथ कि आपको दिखेगा नहीं, लेकिन है वो अंदर. Did you see the sugar in your glass of water when you put the sugar? Could you see it? No. If you put salt, can you see it once it gets dissolved in the water? No, but it is there. When you taste it, you can see. Now that muddy water, don't taste, but you can see it, okay, that it is muddy. If the substances that have got mixed with the water are harmful for living things, we say that the water has become polluted. rivers, lakes are our sources of water. How does their water get polluted? So sometimes you will find that very dirty water. In the river also looks very dirty when it is flowing. People throw flowers in it, they throw ash in it, they throw all kinds of things in it. They bathe in that, they take their buffaloes to bathe in that. So it becomes dirty. Now, can you tell? List the substances that are mixed in the wastewater drained out of the kitchen and bathroom in your house. What all goes out from your house whenever you use the bathroom? Suppose now you flush. Okay? What all goes out along with that? Your urine will go out, your feces will go out, or when you turn on the tap in your basin. So when you have scrubbed your vessels, so in that the soap will also go down, even when you have had your bath, all that will go down the drain. Disposal of wastewater. Disposal means you have to get rid of it. All the dirty water, wastewater, we get rid of it. The wastewater of a city or a town is collected and let into a water body at a convenient location. That means all that wastewater, it goes from your drainage. यानी गटर से जाता है, आपके पाइप से जाता है और एक जगह जमा हो जाता है. The wastewater from residential buildings as well as from factories, industries contains many kind of impurities. It has many things in it which are harmful actually. It is not pure water. Some of these dissolve in the water while some don't. तो कोई घुल मिल जाते हैं और कोई नहीं. Now here you can see a picture of a polluted water body in your book. Let us have a look at the picture on the screen also. Here you can see a polluted water body. So here you can see people have thrown all kinds of things. You can see plastic things, some of them are floating. Some might have gone down in the water also. So the fish will get harmed, or if you try to drink this water, then also it will not be good. Okay, so many of our water bodies will be polluted in this way. Now, sewage water, sewage means whatever goes through your gutter and all, can carry microorganisms that spread diseases. तो इसमें सूक्ष्म जंतु होंगे जिसके कारण बीमारी फैल सकती है. Waste water from industries is more likely to contain poisonous substances. And sometimes the chemicals which are there from industries which flow out, then they can be even more harmful. If all this wastewater is let into water bodies as it is, the water bodies become polluted and that is dangerous. Such water cannot be used for drinking or for any other purpose. That is why it is compulsory for factory owners to treat the water before letting it out. उसको बाहर भेजने से पहले फैक्ट्रीज में कुछ किया जाता है ताकि वो पॉइजनस या जो भी हार्मफुल हानिकारक है उसको कुछ करके उसके बाद में उसको छोड़ा जाता है. Similarly, sewage and other waste water of towns and cities is processed for purification. That means कोई ऐसे प्रोसेस करते हैं उसको प्योर बनाने के लिए, प्योर यानी साफ बनाने के लिए, before letting it into water body. This helps to prevent pollution of water. So that way water will not be polluted. Now, flowing water of rivers, flowing यानी बहता पानी, gets purified to some extent by natural process also. जो बहता पानी है वो ज़्यादा साफ दिखेगा. जो संत है एक ही जगह में है, that you will find like lakes, ponds, more dirt collects over there. So before water is supplied to a town or city, so we first purify it. And how do we do this? By using water filter. So let us look at the next picture. Here you have a water filter. You can see there are different layers. On top the dirty water is put. Then just below that you have the gravel. Gravel यानी बड़े बड़े कंकड़ पत्थर जो है, like even reti and all. Then you have grass over here. Then sand, dirt, charcoal and fabric. Fabric यानी कपड़ा. कपड़े से क्या होगा? वो टोटली बाहर नहीं निकलेगा, फिल्टर होके बाहर निकलेगा. लेकिन कितने लेयर्स के थ्रू फिल्टर होके फिर बाद में वो निकलेगा. So then you will have clean water. So that is the way water filtration works. Let us see this also. In your house you have a small filter. In that you have a diffuser plate on top. Then you have static water level. Static का मतलब है वही level रहता है. Fine sand, coarse means rough sand, little big grains. And then you have the gravel. वहाँ पे आपने देखा ग्रेवल ऊपर था, सैंड नीचे था. So here we have it just the other way round. And then through this, the pipe allows the water to come out. So this is filtered water or it is clean water. Okay, so that way you can have filtration. Do you know, if large quantities of impurities get mixed with river water, the natural process of purification cannot keep pace. Cannot keep pace means आप जितना गंदा करते जाते हो उतना fast हम साफ नहीं कर पाते. The proportion of oxygen dissolved in the water is reduced. जो प्रमाण है ऑक्सीजन का, यानी पानी में ऑक्सीजन डिसॉल्व या उसमें घुला हुआ चाहिए. Without oxygen, that is stagnant water, dead water. So we want that to be mixed in it. And this is a threat to the aquatic living things. Aquatic यानी जो पानी में रहते हैं, like fish, they are also in danger because there is no oxygen in the water. They can also die. Now try this, okay, purification of water. Take a plastic bottle, tie a clean piece of cloth over its mouth. Cut off the base of the bottle and hold the bottle upside down. तो आपको पिक्चर में जैसे दिखाई देता है आपके टेक्स्ट बुक में, आप एक बॉटल को लीजिए, उसका ऊपर का भाग काट लीजिए, यानी ओनली इट्स माउथ, बट मेक इट अपसाइड डाउन, उल्टा करके होल्ड इट ओवर द अदर पार्ट. नाउ पोर सम पाउडर्ड कोल इनटू इट, कोल यानी कोयला. देन ऐड फाइन सैंड एंड कोर्स सैंड एंड मेक 3 लेयर्स. यानी जैसे आपके बुक में दिया है वो भी कर सकते हैं, या जैसे आपने मॉनिटर पे देखा वैसे भी कर सकते हैं. एंड देन you pour water on top. Place the bottle on its lower cut-off portion as shown in the figure. You can take any plastic bottle. After you're finished using it, cut it and the ऊपर का भाग आपको उल्टा करके नीचे के भाग पे रखना है. Now pour some muddy water, मैला पानी, okay, containing some rubbish, and slowly it will come down and you will see in the lower part you will get clean water. Observe the water that flows into the base of the bottle. It appears clean. क्यों दिया है it appears clean? Appears means it seems. दिखने में वो साफ है, okay? साफ नहीं है, दिखने में साफ है. Of course, you have learned that there are microorganisms. That means सूक्ष्म जंतु, which you can see through the microscope. But if you just look like this, you can see that this water looks clean, but it is not fully clean enough to drink. Okay, whatever some of the impurities that has come out, but some of the things are still there. So then what should we do after filtering it? We have to boil it also before we drink it. Now, water works. This is, of course, your teacher will have to take you. So she will have to take you to the water works. They have asked you to visit the water works along with your teacher. So you can have a little class picnic. Obtaining permission to interview an official there to learn about the purification process. So you can ask the following questions. What source of water is used for public water supply system? Source यानी कहाँ से आता है वो पानी. Now in Bombay we get our water mostly from all the different lakes. We have Tansa, Vaitarna. So from these lakes we get our water. That is our source. Second, how many liters of water are purified every day? So then you'll get some idea, and आपको अभी तो अंदाज नहीं होगा कि एक सिटी के लिए, एक शहर के लिए कितना पानी लगता है, कितना फिल्ट्रेशन प्लांट से जाता है. Third question, what processes are used to make water clean, transparent and germ free? तो क्या क्या वो करते हैं उसके लिए, साफ करने के लिए. Now filtration we already saw. One more method we can see, settling water. Now this is a filtration plant where they have settled the water. So this is also one of the processes that they use. Then after this they use another process, and that is known as oxygenation. Here you can see they are doing the next process, that is oxygenation. And this you might have heard, chlorination, because even in swimming pools they put chlorine so that people don't get infection from each other. So chlorination is the next process that they have. Okay, so now you can ask them what all they do. You can see on the next page also in your textbook they have given settling. The water from the water source is allowed to stand in large tanks. Alum is also used to help the process of settling. In Marathi, alum is called turti. In Gujarati, they call it fitkiri. Okay, so they use that so that the mud settles down. Then filtration, you can see in your textbook, water is filtered using a filtration machine. Then oxygenation, air and water are allowed to mix with the help of pumps. This causes oxygen from the air to dissolve in the water. And fourth, they have given chlorination. Chlorine is mixed in the water to kill the germs in it. Okay, so all these from the waterworks. Now they have taken these from Pune, that is from Parvati Waterworks. Parvati is a hill. On top of that there is a mountain and there is a mandir also, and there is also water filtration plant which supplies water to Pune. So they have taken these pictures from there. We have seen it on our monitor also. Okay, so these are the processes. Then in what order are these processes carried out? So we saw first settling is done, and then after that oxygenation, and then chlorination is done. What is done to rid the water of bad smell? Now sometimes they might have cleaned it, but still some of them will continue to get some smell. Then what do? So you'll have to ask that person. So when you go on your picnic for the water filtration, but everyone is not allowed normally. You need permission and then you can visit it. Do you know, while traveling, we often buy bottled drinking water. That means when we go out and there is no clean water, so we may buy water. The bottles are available at places like bus stand, railway station. Read the information about the water given on the bottle and tell others also about it. The date of bottling and the period for which the water can be safely used is printed on the bottle. That means till what date it has to be used, then it expires. It is important to read this information when buying a bottle. Once you have opened it, it should not be kept for very long. The empty bottle must be crushed and thrown into a garbage bin so that it cannot be reused. Plastic which is reused again and again, sometimes they say that it can lead to cancer also. So plastic bottle should not be reused again and again. Now, can you tell if at some place it did not rain for a very long period of time, what would be the effect on the life of the people? People would have lot of difficulty. Now first of all, let us see what all can happen and to whom all it can happen. It will affect the farmers. How will it affect them? If there is no water, there can be a drought situation. Drought situation means there is no water, or there can be a famine. Famine means there is no food because he cannot grow his crops. Now, in a normal household, what all problems will we have with no water? What all do we do with water? Bathing, washing, that means washing clothes also and the house and vessels. Then we also use it for cooking. We use it for flushing and so many other things. So all these things, how will we do? You cannot run your washing machine, you cannot have a shower, you cannot have a bath, and you cannot even clean your house because there will be no water. So if in an area there is no water or there is no rain, everyone will suffer. Animals will also suffer, plants will suffer, soon they will start withering and dying. So rain is very important, it is our main source of water. When we get water from the rain, a lot of it just flows and goes waste, which is why we have to be careful. We have to try to arrest that water, harvest that water, allow it to seep in through the ground so that we can have groundwater which will be available to us later on. That means in wells, where you have pumps also which can bring up the groundwater. All this is necessary to be done because tomorrow otherwise we'll have a problem of water. Irrigation for the farmer is also available when we build dams, we build canals. So these are the different ways that we have to safeguard ourselves in case there is no rain, because see, we have to depend on nature. Now nature sometimes gives, they say देने वाला जब भी देता है पूरा छप्पर फाड़ के देता है. So then sometimes there is very heavy rain, and sometimes 2 or 3 years you will find there is no rain at all. So then all these problems can occur. Okay, now the first problem that we are going to see, that is famine. Water evaporates continuously. You know that continuously, because of the sun, the water keeps on evaporating. That is why places where it does not rain for a long time experience a drought. Drought situation means there is no water at all. All the land will start getting cracks in it. At such places, the water level falls in rivers, wells, lakes, bunds, dams. Everywhere you will feel that there is no water. Rivers are also dry. Some of these may go dry, and the land also dries up due to evaporation. Humans and animals suffer from scarcity of water. Scarcity यानी कमतरता. So there is not enough water. There is lack of water. Scarcity means lack. Okay, lack of something. So then we will suffer from scarcity of water. The land dries up, humans and animals suffer, and there is no water for agriculture. You cannot grow your crops also. This condition is called a famine, and a famine is a natural disaster. Disaster, that is a catastrophe. यानी इतना बड़ा संकट आ सकता है just because there is no rainfall. Grain and fodder. Fodder is food for animals, chara. Fodder okay, so the food for animals you'll find is also not there because घास कैसे उगेगी, फिर गाय को चारा कैसे मिलेगा. It becomes scarce during a famine. Scarce comes from the word scarcity. Scarcity is a noun, scarce is an adjective. That means it becomes less. So it becomes less, and then there may not be any food. This condition is called a famine. Famine means there is not enough food. You may have read about a famine in our state. Our state, we are talking about Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, many of the farmers were committing suicide because there was no rain. And because there was no rain, they could not grow their crops. And they had taken a lot of money from the money lenders to buy the grains. They thought that after the crop grows, we will be able to return the money. But they could not do that. And unfortunately, many of them committed suicide. People living there had to face a lot of hardship. Hardship means difficulties. Okay, so they had to face a lot of difficulties. Animals and plants in those parts also had to suffer. The government temporarily moves people and animals from famine-stricken areas to safe places where they can be provided with water, food grain and fodder. So temporarily, यानी उस वक्त के लिए, तत्पुरता, they shift all the people to places where they can get food and all. लेकिन permanently नहीं रख सकते, उनको वापस तो जाना है. So government does that, and famine-stricken places. Stricken means affected. So those places that are affected, okay. So they take them there, and then fodder camps are set up to take care of domestic animals. पालतू जो प्राणी हैं, like गाय, भैंस and all. So they look after them, they give them fodder. What's the solution? Your class will be visiting a lake which is far away from the city. Arrangements have to be made for the day's drinking water. Now, when we go for a class picnic, we always tell the children, please carry your water bottles, carry your own tiffin also. See, over there, मिले, नहीं मिले, sure नहीं है. मिला तो very good. रास्ते में भी कभी-कभी हम बॉटल खरीद सकते हैं. कभी रास्ते में कुछ आता ही नहीं है. ना दुकान आता है, ना कुछ मिलता है. तो it is safe to carry your own water bottle. Then extra if you need, you can always fill. Sometimes at the railway station, you can get down and fill your bottle. But if you feel, no, I don't know if that water is filtered, is it clean, so you might be able to buy a bottle. Sometimes you may not be able to buy a bottle because if it's a fast train which is not stopping anywhere and continuously it keeps on going, so you might want water. So we have to always carry our bottle. Plus in the bus we can put a crate of mineral water which is bottled water, or we can carry extra water. We don't have to carry it with us on our back. In the bus you can keep it. How are you going for your picnic? According to that you can carry it along. And of course on the way you might have to buy some more. If you're going for more days, long vacation, then you have to buy water sometimes. Water management. Now we have to manage the water that we have. Whatever water is available to us, that has to be used properly. Rain brings us water again and again. हर साल लाता है पानी, हर बारिश के मौसम में पानी आता है. But we get rain for only 4 months. Do we need water only for 4 months? No, we need water throughout the year and we get it only for 4 months. If rainwater is not stored, we will not have water for our daily needs after the rains are over. For a month or two, okay, there will be water. Then after that, we will have problem. To meet the whole year's need for water, rainwater must be stopped. तो ये रेन वाटर जो बह के जाता है, बारिश का पानी, तो उसको हमको कैसे रोकना है? When it is stopped, it percolates into the soil. Percolates. That means seeps. Seeps means penetrates. So it goes deep into the soil, all the rainwater, okay?